Hello, good day, dears. We have been going through the short story, The Paper Menagerie, and I corrected in the last class about the number. This is class 4, and it is a continuation of the previous class. So actually, the previous one was 3, class 3, and now it is class 4. Okay. So, Paper Menagerie is continuing. We have seen how the story begins from the memory of a child and his relationship with the mother, and how the mother tried to amuse the baby with the paper toys, which is really amusing, and she breathed her breath into the toys, and those toys started walking and roaring for the baby, and those memories were evergreen in the mind of the son. That much we have seen. So the story continues. One day, the child saw a TV documentary about sharks. The baby, from the baby, he is now growing up. There is a TV, and his world is now becoming wider and wider. So when he saw a shark in a TV documentary, he was really interested in sharks. So the mother made a shark at his request, and he had seen the shark swimming in water, so he put it in water. The shark swam around, but you know that it is made of paper, and that paper was drenched in water, and it became soggy and translucent, and within no time at all it sank to the bottom. We have seen how our paper boards during rainy days become soggy after some time. We are so enchanted by the paper board that is made for us by our elders, mother, elder sister, or elder brother, and even our father, and you try to amuse yourself with the flowing water and the boat that will be going around. So that is something that we have learned. So likewise, the mother made a shark, not a boat, and as usual, the paper became soggy and it sank to the bottom. Lau the tiger started growling, or the child felt that the paper tiger, started growling because it was put aside by the child, because the child is now interested in the new toy, and that is the shark. He had neglected his friend when he got the shark. So that's why the tiger was growling. Mother, when she saw that the shark was soggy and translucent and sank to the bottom, she is ever so resourceful. She made a new shark out of tin foil. You have seen the tin foil or the aluminium foil paper that you get now. And with that kind of tin foil, she made a shark and put it into a large goldfish bowl where he swam around chasing goldfish. To the boy, it felt the movement of the shark in the water was like the movement of the fish or the shark itself, and it seemed to the child that it is chasing goldfish. Lau is on the other side of the table, on the side of the bowl, goldfish bowl, and he could see Lau watching him and the fish in the bowl. So all these are the imagination of that is the movement of the paper animals, is indeed like the movement of the real animals to the boy, because he was at a stage who believed in all these things. This is what was there in his memory, and you will find that this is remarkable. You will have to note this point, because elsewhere towards the end of the story you will find him saying something about this memory. So, when he was 10 years old, till that time, his mother was making toys for him. He was perfectly happy with those toys, and he played with them because the toys could move around, and the mother would breathe into those paper toys, and the toys will start getting a life of its own, and played with the boy. The child played with all these animals, the tiger chasing the animals, and the animals feeling dead, or even admitting defeat. All these are the plays, and the child needs these toys to amuse itself with. Then they changed, or they went into their new house across the town. And because during that shifting time, dad had to go to the office, and so two neighborly women came over to welcome them to the neighborhood, as is usual with the neighbors. They started talking in English, but father had told them before he went off to his office that mom can't speak English, so they do not know how to communicate with with mom. She was busy unpacking the things that were brought to the house, and the boy was 10 years old, and he was attending school, and he knew English perfectly well. And these neighbors started talking in English, and when they started talking in English, they knew that mother cannot speak in English. They talked loudly, which the boy understood. To them, anyone other than theirs is not normal. That is, the father is American, the mother is Chinese, and so father is okay. But the child has got an unfinished look, as if any other person, any child outside America or the Americans, they have this unfinished look. And moreover, they told or they gave the opinion that he looks like a little monster. This is a typical American's opinion about a Chinese. And all these were said in English, and they thought that the mother will not be able to speak English. That much they are sure. They didn't consider the child. Because he looked like the mother, they assumed that the child also do not speak English. But the child understood. So when mom finished unpacking, the three women stood smiling and nodding at each other because they can't speak, they can communicate. And when mother speaks Chinese, the two women will not be able to understand. And that if those two women started talking in English, mother will not understand. But the best thing they could do is just to stand there smiling and nodding at each other until dad came back and resumed talking. And that's how it all went. One day, Mark, a boy from the neighborhood, came over to play with Jack. Jack is the narrator. Jack to Jack's house with his Star War action figure. Star War is the game that was played in those days, and if you check, you will find a lot of films about Star War and the action heroes there. So Star Wars was one of the plays or one of the toys that were famous at that time or popular at that time. Like all young boys, Mark asked the narrator to show his toys. So Jack, the narrator, introduced Tiger to him, to Mark, because tiger is the most ferocious animal, and he could chase and he could growl and do a lot of things. To a 10-year-old boy, that is a live tiger, or his toy is really interesting. He knows how to play with the paper tiger. He knows how to handle it because it is not like the other solid toys. It needs a soft handling, but even then, the ferociousness of the tiger is with the player, that is with the jack, and also with the shark and all the other animals. So he introduced only tiger. Mark examined the pattern of Lau's skin and remarked, and it is a typical American young boy's remark, "Your mom makes toys for you from trash." Trash means the paper that has been used once and it is now, instead of putting it into waste bin as trash, the mother is using it in order to make toys for you. And that is just unthinkable for a American boy. But even then, the boy, Mark, started playing with Jack. The two boys ended their playing when Lau was torn to pieces because Lau had destroyed one of the key figures of Mark's Star Wars action heroes. You will read about it in the short story piece, and Mark didn't like it. And he just, in his anger, he was telling Jack, "You do not know how costly it is. The toys are costly, and you have to play with the toys for a long, long time." And this boy and his paper tiger had destroyed the key figure of Star War action, and that was unthinkable. And this Lao, Mark had examined Lao earlier and found that it is only a paper tiger, and in his anger, he just took Lao and tore it to pieces. After all, Lao was made only of paper. Mark left saying, "Here is your stupid, cheap Chinese garbage." All his anger against everything is there in those lines. Here is your stupid, cheap Chinese garbage. Stupid because any person other than American is a stupid person. Cheap because it doesn't cost, it is made of trash. Chinese, of course, the Chinese look the boy had inherited from his mother. It is just garbage, it is just waste. And the narrator, that is Jack, tried to get Lao back to shape because he had never encountered so much of anger from any other boy because he was playing with his mother and with the paper menagerie. There was no other uh, person to play with him, playmate for him. And this is the first time he had, and this person had brought in with a lot of costly toys like the Star War action figures, and that one of them was really torn, or one of them was destroyed because the boys were playing with the ferociousness, and and Lao was used by Jack with all its ferociousness, and naturally he believes that Lao destroyed Mark's Star War action figures. So this is how all plays end with the young boys and young children, not just with the boys, girls also. And the parents really have this feeling that the costliest the toy, then that makes them proud that they to tell the others that you have bought such a costly toy for your child. Like for example, when you were children, I don't know whether you had children. As children, you used to have toys, and you have branded toys also. And so you find that an ordinary doll is okay, but a branded doll is costly. So instead of spending just 50 or 100 rupees, you some people spend more than 2000 rupees to buy a doll. That is the world. And so here you find that it is indeed the American way of life, and this boy is Jack is encountering the American way of life for the first time in his life. Till then, his family, his house, his mother, his dad, all these were the people of his world. Of course, the paper menagerie also. Now there is another person, that is Mark, the neighboring boy, and also the repercussion of the destruction of the Star Wars action figures. And Mark, he understood also the fact that Mark was extremely popular in school. So you know how it is. He joined the same school that Mark is attending, and naturally, for 2 weeks in school, Jack was bullied about his chink face. Chink face, that is the term for a person having the Chinese face. And so it was taken out on the boy, and the boy was made an object of ridicule. And because Mark was popular, he got the upper hand and took it out on this boy. And the boy believed that he is being treated in this manner by the other boys because of his mother. He had inherited his mother's face, he had inherited his mother's talking, and so he believed that it is because of the mother that he is being bullied in the school. So he started hating his mother. He wanted to be American in everything. He really wanted to be American in everything, like speaking, eating, and he wants to be like the other boys, and he doesn't want to be bullied in the other classes, and also in the life as it is, because they are living in America, so they really want to be really like the Americans. So you find here the sense of belonging is that which makes the boy start hating mother. So Jack, the narrator, shouts at mom to speak English because the first step to become an American is to start speaking the language. and the mother rarely speaks English. She always speaks in Chinese. And so Jack was so angry with the mother because she doesn't speak Chinese, and because she's not speaking English, she is not American, and things like that. So as a young boy, he has not much idea as to what the inheritance is, but even then he thinks that America is at the top of the world, and to be an American is that which really matters. So here you find that it is indeed necessary to speak English in America, and only then you will be fitting in. And so dad, hearing this shouting of Jack, starts telling the wife that you need to speak in English. I've been so lenient with you, and so you need not take it in this manner, and you should also start talking in English. And the reason that he gives is that Jack needs to fit in. Jack needs to be with the other boys, otherwise, they will separate him or keep him away from them, and he will not be able to mingle properly. And so, he needs to mingle and he needs to fit in. These are the words that he uses. This is the reason that he gives to mom to start speaking in English. He also tells her that he had been so very lenient with her in the hope that one day she will learn how to speak English. Otherwise, he is perfectly happy with the mom. But here you find that it is just not necessary for him to start doing anything now, because every all the other works of the house, everything she fits in, and they were perfectly happy until Jack encounters the outside world. And that outside world was not really helpful to the boy, nor was it sympathetic to the Chinese faced child. And so he was tormented for his Chinese face. He was tormented for his paper animals, paper menagerie. And in a way, he is not like the other boys. He would rather like to be the like the other boys, speaking English, behaving like them, eating American food and things like that. So Jack also exasperatedly shouts at mother to speak English, and dad also asks her to start speaking in English. And the reason that he gives is that Jack needs to fit in. You are in America, and dad tells mom that he had been so very lenient, and it is time that you should start talking. And the mother tells him that I can. That is, she gives him in action that you speak. I can speak American and or American English, but it will be with my intellect. But in my heart of hearts, it will be Chinese all the way. And so all these were told or spoken to dad, but at the same time, dad overrides all her excuses and tells her that all these will not do, because he can understand mom's feelings, but at the same time, their child needs to fit in. So it is no use trying to be sentimental over Chinese being the language of her heart, things like that. It is okay, but even then you need to change. And change she must, for not for dad, but for the child. And so, when persuaded in this manner, mom is ready to do whatever that she can uh, for all these. But this was something like a great blow to her. And so the boys, on looking at mom, found that she looked like the water buffalo when love squeezed the air of life out of him. The air of life the mother had breathed into the water buffalo, like she had breathed into all her animals, and Lao had, while playing, squeezed the air of life out of him. But you will find that it is indeed something that he had not ever thought of, because he played with the water buffalo, he had played with Lao, he had played with the shark. All these animals were moving, and he believed that all these animals moved because they had life. But he also believed that it is the air that mom breathed into it that really made them have life. And when Lau squeezed the air of life out of him, out of the water buffalo, it just fell flat. And it is that flat look mother had when she was told by dad that you are in America and you must start talking in English. And then comes the next demand from Jack. And the next demand is that I want some real toys. And real toys. What about the toys that her mother made? The mother just can't understand why he needs so many other toys, because after each, that is, there is that custom of the Americans and also of all the parents the world over. As a child grows, when he is 2 years old, 3 years old, there are the different types of toys. And you will find that if you have a little bit of money, or even if you don't have money, even then you are ready to spend that on the toys for your child. And they are solid toys, some real toys. Jack's idea of real toys are these plastic made toys made of plastic, and you can just play with it. If it is a truck, you can drive the truck around and play with the other boys, and the cars, different types of cars, and even the Star Wars figures. All these are the real toys for Jack. He never thinks much about the Laho or the paper animals that his mother had made, because these toys were derided or made fun of by the American Mark. And he also told Jack that your mother makes toys for you out of trash or useless paper. And the boy Mark did not recognize the beauty of these paper figurines the mother had made, or the origami, or the art of origami. And without knowing it, in his ignorance, Mark had really made fun of Jack and his toys. And this is why Jack demanded that he wanted some real toys. And this, his first demand is that mother should speak English. His second demand is that he must be like American, eating and speaking and drinking American. And the one more demand, and that is he wants some real toys. And you will find that these are just desires of the child, and the child who looks like a Chinese in America, while the father looks like an American. Father is an American and the mother is Chinese, and the child had inherited the mother's features. And so he was made fun of by the other American boys, and he just do not want to be like her. He wants to be like his father, an American, and he started hating the mother. And at the age of 10, they are quite vehement in hating. And so this hate started from the age of 10, and whatever the mother did, he refused to speak to her in English, in any other language except in English. And the mother is really struggling with this language problem. To her, it is indeed a mountain, and of course she will have to surmount that. And if it is for her boy, then she will do that. And then comes the next demand from Jack: I want some real toys. And of course, the mother, the not the mother, but the father is going to buy him some toys. So in a way, you find that these memories are ever so fresh in the mind of the grown-up person, Jack, and he's thinking back to his younger days, earliest days, and the next time, and how she shouted at his mother, and how the father seemed to pacify the mother, but at the same time, taking the side of the son, he tells her that you must start talking in English for the sake of our child, and you are in America. That is another excuse that father gives her. So you are no longer in China, and I can understand you, but you will not be understood by the other people. You can't talk to the neighbors. The neighboring women speaks in English. They don't speak Chinese. They are in America, so naturally they like to speak English. So this is expected of you. So the mother was vehement or emotional, but even then, she understood that it is no use arguing with the father and the son. they are adamant that she must start learning to speak English, and she is going to do that. And so you will find the efforts the mother puts in order to make to be with the son, or to make him talk to her, or make him love her, or instead of lessening the hate that the son felt for her because of her Chinese nature, or the Chinese outlook, and also the face that she had and the language that she speaks. He really, really wants to be one of the American boys. Okay, we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.